So, we already brought you the news last week that Johnny Herbert has been sacked from his position as an FIA steward, one of the stewards for the Formula 1 racing series. And unsurprisingly, there's been quite a bit of reaction to this. We got quite a good reaction as well on the videos that we've put out about that. And I basically said it's the right decision. You know, you've got a guy that, yes, he's very experienced in Formula 1, of course, but he was having to juggle his roles as a steward and also a pundit and also representative of a gambling firm as well. And those three things cannot coexist. It cannot be that you're an F1 steward and also somebody who has a vested interest in the gambling market, and on top of that, someone who has a kind of stake really when it comes to the punditry world in Formula 1 too. Now, apparently a few teams had actually written to the FIA wanting Herbert to be sacked, at least two of them. Now, I reckon, I've got a sneaking suspicion that those two might well have been Red Bull and RB, or the Racing Bulls as they're known now. Just a little hunch, they'll probably be aligned on that, because of course, at least, I mean, I'm not going to get into the debate over whether, you know, Verstappen was unfairly targeted by stewards. That's a separate discussion for another day. But the fact remains is that, you know, Red Bull, Verstappen, both Verstappens, you know, Jos and Max, and also Christian Horner, and everybody associated with Red Bull thought that Herbert was unfairly stewarding the decisions and giving Max Verstappen some penalties that he did not deserve. That's what they felt. Whether you agree with that sentiment or not, that's a different discussion, but that's what they thought. Now, Christian Horner, the CEO and the team principal of Red Bull Racing, has come out in the media and said that the FIA was right to get rid of Johnny Herbert. Shock horror that he agrees with the decision here. But let's have a look at what's been said here on the F1Chronicle.com, guys. Full article as always. Christian Horner says that the FIA made the right decision to oust Johnny Herbert as a Formula 1 steward. Last week, the governing body ruled that Herbert's FIA work was incompatible with his parallel role as an outspoken pundit on various gambling-related websites. In 2024, Herbert's involvement in a couple of highly controversial penalties for Max Verstappen enraged Max's father and Red Bull team boss Christian Horner. Horner has now denied that Herbert's dismissal and the Verstappen criticism were connected in any way. Sure. But it was the right decision, he admitted. You can't have a rule enforcers that also works for the media. That doesn't happen in other professional sports either, because it's completely inappropriate. You're either on the side that regulates the sport or on the side of the media. You can't have one foot on both sides. The Grand Prix Drivers Association head Alex Wirtz was also asked about Herbert no longer being eligible as an FIA steward. I don't know the details, he said, but if there was a conflict and they worked it out together, then so be it. I don't know all that exactly. Now, I agree with what Horner is saying. I do agree with what he's saying. However, there is a big difference here, and this is something that's been pointed out a lot in the comments, really, when it comes to the FIA stewards. I mean, the F1 stewards, they are not paid. And, you know, having someone on the media side of things and also on the rule makers, the steward side of things, that only happens in Formula 1 because the officials are not paid. It's not like the referees in football where they get a healthy salary, and it's I guess it's a full-time job really when you think about it. All the travel, all the time, all the training, the fitness regimen, because you have to be in pretty good shape to be a football referee these days, especially at the top level in the Premier League. So that's a big difference there. Now, I'm not condoning what Johnny Herbert did there, but I do understand why there is the argument that, you know, that is a possibility, basically, why they can have these other interests and do these other things, because at the end of the day, we don't know Johnny's financial situation. Yeah, I imagine he's pretty well off, you know, but at the end of the day, he's obviously got a passion for the punditry side, and he's obviously got a passion for the stewarding side too, and the stewarding side does not pay. And I think it's right that he's gone. Like I've said, I still stand by that. I do agree with that, but I do get that the real problem here, in a sense, is that you've also got him doing both of these things on the betting side of things and also on the media side of things too. And a lot of people, there may be other people in the future that do something similar to that, because F1 stewards are not paid, and it's just a laughable thing, really. Mohammed bin Sulayem, I hate to mention him again, the FIA president, has gone on record as saying there's no money to pay them, which is just a load of baloney. It's just a load of crap. There's no way there's no money to pay him. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry here, Formula 1. It's one of the richest sports in the world. It's the richest motorsport in the world. How do you not have the money, man? How do you not have the money? It's there, you just don't want to give it out. But there we go. Any more thoughts on Herbert, really, when it comes to his ousting? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. It's not a surprise that Christian Horner agrees with this. And by the way, this is not me having to go at Red Bull or the Racing Bulls for allegedly protesting the fact that Herbert, because he was going to steward at the Australian Grand Prix in March, he was going to be there for the season opener, and I imagine if a team, for example Red Bull or RB, were going to put in a protest about him, it would have been around now when this was all announced, obviously. And of course, I can see why they would have protested, but they have the right to protest. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with doing this protest. You should heed the team's thoughts and obviously, act accordingly if you need to act. So I have no problem with them protesting if they did protest. But obviously, they protested. I think they probably protested, though. I'd be shocked if not. But yeah, your thoughts in the comments below, guys. See you soon for some more F1 news and opinion pieces just like this. Have a good one. Have a great week. And yeah, if you want to see some more content like this on the F1Chronicle.com, you know where to head. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And of course, head over to the Patreon as well if you want to become a patron and get some exclusive member benefits as well. Have a good one. See you soon.